Hey guys, thanks for coming to Flippin' for a Livin'. I hope you're having a wonderful day, whatever you're doing today. There's just a little taste of what happened to me in the last 24 hours. In my last video, you guys, I kind of gave a bit of a teaser that I was hopefully meeting with somebody about buying some vintage Nintendo stuff. I want to use this as a little bit of a pointer for everybody. This case worked out strongly in my favor, and it took me 10 seconds literally to profit $1,200. Yeah, I did have to go and make the deal, pick it up, bring it home, and I'm going to have to spend some time posting it and selling it, obviously. But what I want to teach you guys to do, if you are not already doing this, is when you go to a yard sale and somebody has VHS tapes and board games from the 80s and VCRs and vintage stereo equipment, and they have these things that clearly date them as 80s children, or they had kids in the 80s and 90s. When you see that type of yard sale, even if you don't see amazing video games out on the table, a lot of people forget they have them. A lot of people have them but didn't bother putting them out. And in that situation, I just simply ask people all the time, just wondering, I don't see them out here, but do you happen to have any video games from the 80s or 90s that you'd be willing to part with? Now, it doesn't happen very often. I'm going to say conservatively 1 in 20 people actually gets back to me with something. Maybe 2 out of 20 people responds, and one of them ends up wanting to sell. And in this case, well, it worked out in my favor. If you didn't see it in my old video, I told you I was probably going to meet somebody, and it took some work convincing them to sell, because it was an elderly lady and she was selling them on behalf of her son. He didn't want them, he wanted to sell them, but she did a tiny bit of research. She didn't want to get rid of them necessarily, and she would not give me a number. It was like almost impossible. So I went there with a fat wallet in case. I didn't know at the start how much stuff she was going to have. She just said how much stuff she was going to have. She just said, I have a lot. And I had bought something from her previously. I had bought some Commodore 64 stuff, a huge box of it, with about 30 games and a console and everything, and I paid $50 for that. She said it was about that much. So this here is maybe close to that much, but she didn't give me any impression that it was going to be exorbitantly more priced. Did I say that right? Exorbitantly more priced than the Commodore. But when I got there, we talked for a bit, and I offered her $200, and she was like, no, I can't. I'm not going to sell it for $200 or even $250. Long story short, a little bit of smoozing, a little bit of talking about her beautiful chandelier, talking about her grandkids, talking about her husband's eye problem. She decided to let it all go for $300, and well, it's a great find. I'm going to probably be able to make about $1,200 out of it. I'm going to show you real quick what I got. I'll start with the Super Nintendo stuff. So these were the boxed games. Zelda is about $125. That's about $75. Yoshi's Island's around $100. These are like $50 games. And then these are all kind of junky. Actually, no, Prehistoric Man is another pretty decent one, around $75. The unboxed ones, these are pretty common, but Legend is actually worth about $75. And then the Nintendo itself, $50 to $75. So that was sweet. Then over here, the boxed Nintendo is in immaculate shape. Like, it is pristine. Everything's in there. The cellophane, the instructions. So I'm actually going to push for $250 Canadian on that, and I'll take the first 200. These games, not as nice shape. A couple of them I can't remember right now. I don't know. I don't have all my Nintendo games memorized. I probably should at this point, what the most valuable ones are. But just the fact that they're all complete with manuals, I think these are averaging like $30 a piece, roughly. A couple of these are a little bit better. This is, I think, the best of what I have. And these boxes, you guys, like a couple of them still have the hangers on them, but they're perfect. Other than having the cellophane off them, they are as mint and new as you can get. I think Batman's about a $60 or $75 game. Overall though, I'm looking to profit about 1,200 bucks off this stuff. And the work I had to put into it, it was next to nothing. Like I said, about 1 in 20 people actually gets back to me with something for sale. So you times 20 times I ask that question at 5 to 10 seconds a time while I'm investing about 3 minutes of my life to now get this $1,200. It doesn't always work out this good. I had one a couple weeks ago where the lady got back to me and I gave her $40 for $400 worth of stuff. So still a great little return, you know, huge money for what I invested. 1,000% markup. This only 500% markup, but great money. So that's my little update, my little pointer for the day. You guys, don't be afraid. If you don't see it, it doesn't mean they don't have it. They might have just forgot about it. Whether maybe you're into old LPs or electronics or vintage clothing or whatever it is, don't be afraid to ask. The worst case scenario is they say no. One of the best case scenarios, well, you make over $1,000 for very little investment of time and energy. Thanks for coming to the channel, you guys. If you have any questions or comments whatsoever, please put them in the comment section below and I'll be happy to answer them. If you haven't already done so, at your leisure, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when all my new videos come out. And I hope you guys all have a great day and love what you do. Thanks, guys.